It looks like we're back sooner than later. They actually decided to return to the Liga MX this Friday for August 18th. I'm just glad some games are back. We got a four game slate today, so let's get right into it. We got first game, León versus Mazatlan. All these lines, I'm not gonna lie, it looks a little bit weird to me. León, a lot more was expected of them in the League's Cup. They did okay. Like I guess it should have been a lot better than what they did, but it is what it is. Mazatlan beat their expectations. They managed to win games in the League's Cup and in the US, but they still haven't won a single game in the Liga MX. That's why this game, I think that's why they're priced like this, as that big of an underdog. But the only picks I have at the moment, if I decide to change them later, just follow me on Instagram at LaloMX80. I'll put how it's typed at the end of it. But at the moment, the only recommended picks I could say is give me both teams to score. I think we're going to see a lot of goals in this, mostly from the León side. But if we can get 3 from León, 1 from Mazatlan, that's a perfect cash out right there. I kind of want to take a shot with Mazatlan just because I don't think they should be that big of an underdog. But we'll go on to the next game. Like I said, if I decide to change that later, follow me on Instagram and I'll post my final picks on there. Second game of the night, we got Pumas at home up against Toluca. Now, judging by these lines, it looks like they don't know which way to go. These books don't know which way to go. It seems like everything is pretty much split 3 ways. I don't like the both teams to score here. That's way too much, way too high to price. Minus 210, that's crazy because this Pumas team has known to slack on the offense. Toluca, they do all right with it, but it would be that Pumas team that has me afraid. Now for this game, if there's anything I would want to do, I would probably take Toluca straight on the money line just because they're the more consistent team of these two. So it would either be Toluca money line, or it looks like I'm just gonna have to go with the draw. I can see a simple, boring little 1-1 type game, or I can see something like Toluca winning. It's simple, but Toluca is the more consistent team out of these two. Pumas seems like one day they're on fire, the next day they choke. Toluca, at least it's consistent with there, and when they lose, it's actually shocking. It's actually, the other team took some work to get a win out of Toluca, but they're the more consistent team. I don't know which one I'm going to go with, either the money line or the draw. Like I said, follow me on Instagram, and then that's where I'll post my final pick. But on to that third game. Third game of the night for Friday, August 18th. We got Puebla versus San Luis. Now, both of these teams absolutely horrible in the Leagues Cup and in the Liga MX. The only reason I'm going with San Luis is because their offense is actually showing some type of life in their games, and they have at least one win. So at least they won one game back in, I want to say it was round 3 of the Liga MX. I'm not so sure. But they didn't win the Leagues Cup, but they definitely didn't get smoked like Puebla did. Puebla got shut out like 4-0, and then that other next game was a 1-1 against Chicago Fire, which went to penalties. That was probably their best performance out of everything, but other than that, it hasn't been pretty for Puebla. So I'm going to have to take San Luis on the money line. This could also be a draw, so if you want to go with the draw, that's also not a bad bet, but that defense is just used to receiving a lot of goals. And I think San Luis has the offense to at least get a 1-0 win, but more than likely probably a 2-1. At least that's just my guess. But give me San Luis on the money line. I think they're worth taking a shot with. We got the last game of the night for Friday, August 18th. I think this is by far the more exciting game out of all 4. And it's a little bit interesting because Juarez, it looks like they were rolling. It looks like they were just racking up the wins and playing well. And so was Chivas. And then going into that Leagues Cup, the only bad performance from Juarez was their last game. Completely destroyed by LAFC. I thought they were way better than that. I don't know what happened to them in that performance, but they lost 7-1, so that was their last game. And Chivas just not being able to pull anything good in that Leagues Cup tournament either. Before that, they were rolling in the Liga MX. I'm hoping that that's the Chivas that shows up. I'm not 100% sure yet if I'm ready to take them straight on the money line, but I don't think Juarez should be completely ignored just because of that last performance, because in the Liga MX, they're doing what they're supposed to, or actually, they're beating expectations, so they're doing more than what they're supposed to. Chivas, again, it just depends which version of Chivas shows up, but at the moment, for sure, I'm taking the over 2.5. I think we're gonna see a total of at least 3 goals in this one. I don't think this is gonna be a boring game, and I think we're gonna see goals on both sides here, especially if Chivas gets a little bit sloppy. But both of these teams have the offense to score on each other, so both teams to score. Give me the over 2. I'm thinking about putting Chivas on the money line. I'm not 100% sure. I'll post all my final picks at my Instagram. It's right there. Follow me at LaloMX80, LaloMX80. That's where I'm going to post all my final picks for Friday. Maybe, I want to say probably an hour before the game at least, if I make any late changes, but maybe even hours before that. But those are your free picks for the Jornada 4, Jornada 4, round 4. Let's get this money and be on the lookout for, I want to say either playing, the rest of the teams are playing either Saturday or Sunday. I want to say it's Sunday though, but be on the lookout for that. There's your free picks. Let's get us some money.